Hey folks, what's up? This is your host Lorenzo Big Flem Fleming here, back with another edition of Big Flem's Pigskin Picks NFL edition for Week 11. Yes, you heard right, Week 11 of the NFL season here on Big Flem Radio and TV. Right now, we're almost 2/3 of the way through the season, and we're winding down these last 5 or 6 weeks here. And like I said, so far, all the undefeateds have been defeated so far, and we still have one winless team still left out there. Excuse me. Will that trend continues this week? We'll find out when we do our picks and predictions here. Without further ado, let's get started here. All right, like I say, this past week we were 4-8. And we had like 6 teams that had bye weeks last week, so that was 3 games we couldn't call. And plus, last Thursday night's game, I wasn't able to make a prediction for, so that was 4 games we couldn't predict for. So, oh well. But unfortunately, we had a bad week, and our overall total after week 10 is 82-61-1 with a winning percentage of 56%. So far, we're doing pretty decent, and I'm hoping that we can turn things around this week here on Big Flem Pigskin Picks NFL edition. Alright, our Thursday night matchup featuring 2 teams in the AFC North division. We have the 5-4 Pittsburgh Steelers, aka the Rust Buckets, traveling to Cleveland on the shores of Lake Erie to take on the struggling 3-6 Cleveland Browns. Even though they won last week to snap their 4 or 5 game snide, well, I don't know what's up with Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham Jr. and the gang there. I don't know if they can be able to get it right this weekend, even though they were lucky this past weekend. So we're going to go with Pittsburgh to win a close one over Cleveland this Thursday night. Now let's move on to our Sunday matchup. Alright, our first matchup, we have an AFC South division matchup where we have the 4-5 Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to Indianapolis to take on the 5-4 Indianapolis Colts. Like I said, the Jaguars had a bye week last week, and hopefully that bye week will do them some good. Like I say, both teams are having backup quarterbacks because, of course, the Colts, Andrew Luck retired before the beginning of the season, and Nick Foles, the Super Bowl winner, Super Bowl 52, he broke his collarbone in the opening game, and he's out for the season as of right now. So, and like I said, the Indianapolis Colts backup quarterback, he's doing pretty good. I'm surprised. So, with that being said, we're going to lean towards the Indianapolis Colts to win this matchup. All right, our next pick we have is the 3-6 Denver Broncos. Man, they're struggling. Now they got a backup quarterback. He won last week. And like I said, Joe Flacco, I heard he got hurt, so hopefully Joe Flacco gets better as they travel to Minneapolis to take on the 7-3 Vikings. Like I said, Kirk Cousins and the gang, they're still doing good there in the AFC North right now. They're really battling it with Green Bay for the division lead there, so it's going to be too close to call. But going back to the game at hand, I'm just going to say that the Minnesota Vikings is going to win this one handily over the Broncos. All right, our next matchup, which will definitely be a snoozer. We got the 2-7 Jets, who last week beat their crosstown rivals, the New York Giants, aka the Midgets. Ugh. Like I said, Sam Darnold was trying to get it together there. And Le'Veon Bell, I don't know, I haven't heard much about that trade rumor that his name was mentioned last week, so I guess he's still with the team. They're going to the nation's capital to take on the woefully struggling 1-8 Washington Redskins, aka the Rednecks. So somebody has to win this game. So I would say, will the Jets make it 2 in a row? I believe so. Because like I say, the Redskins, aka the Rednecks, have a rookie quarterback. He just barely finding his way around. Dwayne Haskins, I think is his name, from Ohio State University. The Buckeyes, aka the Buckaroos. With that being said, I think the Jets will win 2 in a row, and they're going to win over the Redskins. All right, our next matchup, we have, like I mentioned earlier, the only winless team left, the 0-9 Cincinnati Bengals, aka the Bungles, traveling to Oakland to take on the 5-4 Oakland Raiders, soon to be Las Vegas Raiders. Like I said, Derek Carr is hanging in there, and I think that they're going to really, do a drubbing on the Bengals, aka the Bungles, because Andy Dalton, I don't know what's wrong with that guy, and AJ Green, I don't know, what's up with him, man. I know he's not getting much catches and things like that. I don't like to go against my brother there from the University of Georgia, but I don't think the Bengals will get a win this weekend, so things will get worse there in Cincinnati. So we're going to go with the Raiders on this one, folks. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Big Flem's Pigskin Picks NFL Edition for Week 11 here on Big Flem Radio and TV.
Flem Radio wants you to know that approximately every 51 minutes, someone is killed in a drunk driving crash. Buzz driving can also cause huge financial penalties with fines and legal fees. Friends, don't let friends drive drunk. Find out more at nhtsa.org.
Hey folks, this is Lorenzo Big Flem Fleming, the host and creator of Big Flem Radio and TV website. As you know, I am a host of 6 podcasts on Big Flem Radio and TV, designed for the general listening audience. Like I said, whenever you get a chance, check it out. Check out the website. Check out the online store for Big Flem Radio and TV themed products and little knickknacks and gifts for your friends and your family members. Like I said, you'll find it very interesting. I guarantee it. Like I said, the podcast covers news, music, talk. I wouldn't say news, but mainly talk about today's news and topics, as well as a channel dedicated to my fellow American military veterans, because I am a veteran myself. 21 years qualifying service in the Army and the Army Reserves, which includes 2 combat tours in Iraq and 6 months contingency operation tour in Kuwait. So I dedicate that show to all my fellow veterans and family members of veterans. So if you give a chance, hey, give me a chance. Give a listen. Check out the website at www.bigflemradiotv, that's one word, .com. Again, that's www.bigflemradiotv.com. I'll spell it out for you. It's BIGFLEM as in Mike, RADIO TV. And you can send me a tweet on Twitter with the hashtag Flem, FLEM_radio. So like I said, give me a shot, give it a listen. And also, if you want to send a request for a song or want to make a comment or criticisms about any of the podcast shows on Big Flem Radio and TV, go ahead. I like to hear from you. Send me a shout out, or if you want me to do a shout out for somebody, or if you want to do a dedication on a certain show, just send it to the email bigflemradiotv@gmail.com. Again, that's bigflemradiotv@gmail.com, and put whatever particular podcast show in the subject line. For example, one of the shows you're listening to right now is Big Flem's Pigskin Picks NFL Edition, as well as College Football Edition. Also, you can send the subject line. You can use My Prerogative with Lorenzo Fleming, Reflections, Rockin' Into the Night, as well as Lorenzo's Jams. Again, give it a try. Check it out. Listen to it. Tell all your friends and your neighbors and your family members, and even strangers. You won't regret it. It's Big Flem Radio and TV.
Gnarly, dude. This is Jess Bacoli. When I'm out hanging 10, catching the waves, checking out the chicks, and skipping Mr. Hand's class, I'm listening to Big Flem Radio and TV. Oh,
Welcome back, folks. I hope you had a good break there, because I sure did. Let's continue on with our pigskin picks. Like I say, if you haven't had a chance, check out the website. You know, it has 6 podcast shows, including this one, as well as our college football edition of Big Flem's Pigskin Picks for your college football junkies out there like myself. Go University of Georgia. And 5 other podcast shows, dedicated to music, talk, and veterans information and news. And also it has a great online store, especially with the holidays coming up. If you're looking for a nice little gift for your friends, your loved ones, your family members, your co-workers, a stranger, a battle buddy, alien from Mars, from outer space, hey, check it out. You know, it has some nice mugs, t-shirts, and other different, knickknacks and miscellaneous things. So please check it out at www.bigflemradiotv.com. Again, that's www.bigflemradiotv, that's one word.com. Also, if you want to be a guest picker, prognosticator on Big Flem's Pigskin Picks College or NFL edition, just hit us up on our email at bigflemradiotv@gmail.com. Again, that's bigflemradiotv, that's one word, at gmail.com, and put in the subject line Big Flem's Pigskin Picks College or NFL edition. And also, send us an audio clip of your picks, or just type in the subject, in the body of the email, what your picks are and who you think, who's going to win for that week. Also, you can send us a tweet, folks. Yes, we're on Twitter. You can send us a tweet of your picks, or if you want to be a guest prognosticator, send it to hashtag @Flem_radio. Again, that's at Flem, FLEM as in Mike, _ radio, RADIO. Also, we have a Facebook group page as well as a Facebook page. Like I said, just go to facebook.com/Big Flem Radio and TV. We're on there as well. Also, I forgot to mention earlier that we're 1-3 in our upset picks of the weeks. I haven't done it that much this season. I'm hoping I'll give it another try this week, so hope we can turn that around as well. Now let's get back to our picks. Now, our next game, we have the 4-5 Chicago Bears, the Bears, traveling to Los Angeles to the LA Coliseum to take on the 5-4 LA Rams, aka the Sheep. Like I say, both teams are kind of struggling, been up and down, especially the Bears. Trubisky, he's really taking a lot of heat there, as well as their coach is taking a lot of heat there in Chicago. They feel that Trubisky is not the quarterback that can lead them to the next step to get them back in the playoffs. I think they've been made the playoffs with him, but they seem like they can't take that next step to go to the Super Bowl. We'll see how that drama plays out in the Windy City. But for the current game at hand, and also Jared Goff has been kind of struggling too, as well as his offensive numbers, and also as well as Todd Gurley, the Gurley man from the University of Georgia, our running back. So, with that being said, we're going to go with the Rams over the Bears, Chicago Bears, in this one, folks. All right, our next matchup, we have the 5-4 Dallas Cowboys, aka the Cowpokes, traveling to Detroit, the Motor City, Motown, to take on the struggling 3-5-1 Detroit Lions, who are currently with Matthew Stafford, another former University of Georgia alum. He's been banged up lately, and I'm hoping that he'll make it back this week to play. And I know that Dak Prescott's been kind of struggling lately, as well as Ezekiel Elliott and that offensive line. Man, they got to get it together there. So I think I'm going with the Cowboys over the Lions in this matchup, folks. All right, our next matchup is a AFC East division matchup where we got the 6-3 Buffalo Bills traveling down to South Florida, Miami-Dade County, where they take on the woeful 2-7 Miami Dolphins, aka the Tuna Fish. Well, lately, they've won 2 in a row. Like I said, Ryan Fitzpatrick finally got his act together down there in Miami and finally got that offense going the way it needs to go. Can they sustain that momentum? We'll find out. But I don't think so against the Buffalo Bills, though. So we're going with the Buffalo Bills over the Dolphins, aka the Tuna Fish. Alright, our next matchup is a NFC South division matchup, where we have the New Orleans Saints, who are recovering from that heartbreaking loss to my Atlanta Falcons in the Superdome last Sunday. And we'll get to the Falcons in a little bit. And like I said, hopefully they can recover from that disaster as they travel to Tampa Bay to take on the woeful 3-6 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, aka the Succaneers. Like I say, New Orleans, Drew Brees, he came back, week before, he was going strong, but I was surprised that the Falcons sacked him 6 times in the game, and they held him to 9 points. I don't think he's going to let that slide. So I think the New Orleans Saints, the Aints, are going to come back and thrash the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, aka the Succaneers, since Jameis Winston is really struggling down there at quarterback. So we're going with the Saints, aka the Aints, over the Buccaneers. And speaking of my Atlanta Falcons, like I say, that's another NFC South matchup, as the 2-7 Falcons travel up I-85 northeast towards the Queen City, Charlotte, North Kakalaki, North Carolina, to take on the 5-4 Carolina Pathetic Panthers. And of course, Cam Newton is still out with his foot injury, and they already ruled him out for the rest of the season, so his backup got to carry the load for the rest of the way. Can the Falcons sustain that momentum from last week after they won off of their bye week? We shall see. Like I said, I went against the Falcons, and it backfired on me last week. So I guess I'll go back to the Falcons this week, and hopefully they can pull up another upset over the Carolina Pathetic Panthers without Cam Newton. So I'm going with the Falcons over the Panthers. Alright, folks, we're going to take another quick break, and we will be right back with Big Flem's Pigskin Picks here on Big Flem Radio and TV. Hey folks, this is Lorenzo Big Flem Fleming, the host and creator of Big Flem Radio and TV website. As you know, I am a host of 6 podcasts on Big Flem Radio and TV, designed for the general listening audience. Like I said, whenever you get a chance, check it out. Check out the website. Check out the online store for Big Flem Radio and TV themed products and little knickknacks and gifts for your friends and your family members. Like I said, you'll find it very interesting. I guarantee it. Like I said, the podcast covers news, music, talk. I wouldn't say news, but mainly talk about today's news and topics, as well as a channel dedicated to my fellow American military veterans, because I am a veteran myself. 21 years qualifying service in the Army and the Army Reserves, which includes 2 combat tours in Iraq and 6 months contingency operation tour in Kuwait. So I dedicate that show to all my fellow veterans and family members of veterans. So if you give a chance, hey, give me a chance. Give a listen. Check out the website at www.bigflemradiotv, that's one word, .com. Again, that's www.bigflemradiotv.com. I'll spell it out for you. It's BIGFLEM as in Mike, RADIO TV. And you can send me a tweet on Twitter with the hashtag Flem, FLEM_radio. So like I said, give me a shot, give it a listen. And also, if you want to send a request for a song or want to make a comment or criticisms about any of the podcast shows on Big Flem Radio and TV, go ahead. I like to hear from you. Send me a shout out, or if you want me to do a shout out for somebody, or you want to do a dedication on a certain show, just send it to the email bigflemradiotv@gmail.com. Again, that's bigflemradiotv@gmail.com, and put whatever particular podcast show in the subject line. For example, one of the shows you're listening to right now is Big Flem's Pigskin Picks, NFL edition, as well as college football edition. Also, you can send the subject line. You can use My Prerogative with Lorenzo Fleming, Reflections, Rockin' Into the Night, as well as Lorenzo's Jams. Again, give it a try. Check it out. Listen to it. Tell all your friends and your neighbors and your family members, and even strangers. You won't regret it. It's Big Flem Radio and TV.
Hi, I'm here today because I'm addicted.
Big Flem Radio and TV.
Get ready. You know.
Now that's an addiction, man.
Hey folks, we're back. Right now we're getting ready to wrap up another edition of Big Flem's Pigskin Picks, NFL edition for Week 11 of the NFL season, here on Big Flem Radio and TV. Right before we get to our last couple of picks for this week, I want to mention the teams that have their bye weeks this week. We have the Green Bay Packers taking a week off, as well as the New York Giants, aka the Midgets, the Seattle Seahawks, aka the Sea Buzzards, after that overtime win over the formerly undefeated San Francisco 49ers, and the Tennessee Titans. Those guys have a bye week this week, so I hope they can enjoy that week off and give them extra time to rest and prepare for Week 12 and to round up the rest of the season. So let's get back to our last couple of picks for this week, shall we? And speaking of the formerly undefeated San Francisco 49ers, hopefully they get the rebound from that overtime loss, and also when their kicker missed that field goal where they should have won the game, as they host the struggling 3-6-1 Arizona Cardinals there at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. As I said before, like I said, it was a pretty close game there. Then, like I said, it went to overtime, and then, like I said, their kicker missed that game-winning field goal. And then the Seahawks, Russell Wilson, maneuvered them down the field to set up the game-winning field goal in overtime. So, like I said, there's no undefeated teams left. So, but right now, the 49ers are still one of the favorites in the NFC East to go to the Super Bowl. Them and the Green Bay Packers, of course. So, with that being said, and of course, Kyler Murray, the rookie there in Arizona, he's still learning the ropes there as quarterback and leading the franchise. But I don't think they'll get a win this one. So, I'm thinking the 49ers, Jimmy Garoppolo and Richard Sherman, my frat brother from Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, they're going to rebound and win this one over Arizona Cardinals in that key NFC West matchup. Alright, moving to our next game, we have our defending Super Bowl champs, the New England Patriots and Tom Brady and company, at 8-1, traveling to Philadelphia to take on the 5-4 Philadelphia Eagles. That's basically the rematch of Super Bowl 52. I saw that Super Bowl, and that was a great game, if I do say so myself. With the former Nick Foles was the quarterback when Carson Wentz got hurt. And speaking of Carson Wentz, hopefully he can get that offense back on track again, and hopefully Deshaun Jackson comes back off the injury reserve list. We'll find out this weekend. But I think Tom Brady and company is going to have too much talent, and plus that defense is a killer defense this year. So I'm looking for the Patriots to beat the Philadelphia Eagles in this one, folks. And we have our Monday night matchup, a key AFC West matchup where we have the 6-4 Kansas City Chiefs traveling to StubHub Center in Carson to take on the struggling 4-6 LA Chargers. And there was even talk about moving the Chargers franchise to London. And I saw a little I won't say a documentary, but a little article they had on TV over the weekend about that. And they feel like the London market is not ready for an NFL expansion team or a team to transfer over to London or Europe. So, like I said, they did have a market there in San Diego until the voters there in San Diego and San Diego County voted against the referendum to use taxpayer money to build a new stadium down there in San Diego to replace the aging Qualcomm Stadium, aka Jack Murphy Stadium, aka the Murph. So that was the reason why the owner of the Chargers moved out of San Diego and moved to LA. And so far, the Chargers in LA hasn't really taken much traction yet, but we'll see how that story develops and see how things go, especially as they get ready to move into that new stadium in Inglewood that they'll be sharing with the Rams next year. And of course, Patrick Mahomes, he's still putting up them numbers, man, with that defensive, with his offensive, arm there, passing yards and all that good stuff. So, with that being said, I'm looking forward to the Kansas City Chiefs with an easy win over the LA Chargers on the Monday Night Football. So, to recap our picks for Week 11 of the NFL season on Big Flem's Pigskin Picks, we start off with our Thursday night matchup. We have the Steelers, aka the Rust Buckets, over the Cleveland Browns. And for our Sunday matchup, we have the Indianapolis Colts over the Jacksonville Jaguars. We have the Minnesota Vikings over the Denver Broncos. We have the New York Jets, 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 over the Washington Redskins, aka the Rednecks. We have the Oakland Raiders, soon to be the Las Vegas Raiders, denying Cincinnati Bengals, aka the Bungles, their first win of the season. We have the LA Rams, aka the Sheep, over the Chicago Bears, the Bears. Then we have the Dallas Cowboys, aka the Cowpokes, over the struggling Detroit Lions. We have the Buffalo Bills over the Miami Dolphins, aka the Tuna Fish. We have the New Orleans Saints, the Aints, recovering from that disaster against the Falcons, over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, aka the Succaneers. And speaking of the Falcons, hopefully they'll go 2 in a row as they take on the Carolina Pathetic Panthers in Charlotte. Then we have the San Francisco 49ers over the Arizona Cardinals in a rebound game. And we have the New England Patriots over the Eagles. And last but not least, the Monday night matchup, we have the Kansas City Chiefs over the LA Chargers. Well, folks, that's about wrap it up another edition of Big Flem's Pigskin Picks NFL edition for Week 11 of the NFL season. Don't forget to check out Big Flem's Pigskin Picks College Edition for Week 12 of the college football season. Like I said, we got some key games coming up. Like I said, for those who saw the LSU-Alabama game Saturday, we got more to come this weekend, so check it out. And also check out the other 5 podcasts on Big Flem Radio and TV website. Of course, that's www.bigflemradiotv.com. Again, that's www.bigflemradiotv.com. And also, if you want to be a guest picker and prognosticator, shoot us an email at bigflemradiotv@gmail.com. Again, that's bigflemradiotv, that's one word, @gmail.com. Put it in the subject line, Big Flem's Pigskin Picks NFL or College Football Edition, and send us your audio clip or write us an email of your picks and your predictions. And also, again, you can send us a tweet on Twitter with the hashtag @Flem_radio. Again, that's Flem, FLEM as in Mike, _ radio, RADIO. And of course, we have a Facebook page as well as a group page. Go to facebook.com/Big Flem Radio and TV. Alright, guys, until then, tune in next week for another edition of Big Flem's Pigskin Picks NFL Edition here on Big Flem Radio TV. Written, produced, and hosted by yours truly, Lorenzo Big Flem Fleming. Big Flem's Pigskin Picks is a production of Black Rebel Production in association with Flem Media. The NFL theme music is a property of NFL Properties as well as Fox Sports. Big Flem Radio and TV do not own the rights to the music, nor do they profit from it.
We're Big Flem Radio and TV.